like all of us, I fell into depression as well. So like most of us, so I'll be open. I fell into depression basically because the situation I was going through was so tough. So I say, man, that's like, if I can just do something and end it right now, then I don't need to wake up and worry about anything the next day. Yeah, it got to that point, like I started questioning myself, and I'm like, oh, hold on. If I do this, then my family, like, I'll be putting so much pressure, and my mom and all that stuff.
So that cup sort of helps synchronize the sound, yeah.
Nice.
So it's not off. You recording? All right. Okay, here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Nogat Mahn podcast. I am your host, MK Yoba. We are here back in Life Gymnasium. If you don't know where Life Gymnasium is, it is a gym located inside of Holiday Inn. I'll leave all the links in the description, so go check it out. Join the gym today. As usual, I am joined by my co-host, none other than yours truly, Shark23.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Mr. Yellow Beanie turned black today.
Shout out to our boy C.
Yes, all the best in your match today.
Trial match, brother. All the best.
Yeah.
We miss you, bro.
I don't, but anyway. Victor does.
Anyway, here today with us is a special guest. His name is Vagi Henry. Vagi is a three-time world championship PNG Powerlifting Rep.
Yes.
And he will share with us his amazing story. We are all huge fans of him. I was looking forward to this day. And thank you so much for joining us, Vagi.
Oh, good, bro. I'm very happy to be here on the podcast. I usually also watch some of your videos, and I'm a big fan as well. Just like what Matthias said, I've attended 3 World Championships for PNG, and I am also in numerous Oceania competitions and won several medals, and also in the Pacific Games as well. I've also been a medalist there, so it's in the Pacific, in the Oceania, and in the world stage as well. So I compete at such level, and it's not very easy coming down this journey. Just like each one of these guys, Chen and Matthias, sitting here, we're all going through our own journeys as well, and we're here to support each other. So anything you guys have, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions that come my way in terms of lifting and all that. Thank you for having me today.
Now, it's such an honor to have someone of such esteem that we consider as goals. Because basically our maxes are his warm-ups. So, I'm not dying of embarrassment and like suddenly all my strength is gone. It's like, here am I like uploading my videos like, oh, this is my PR. And it's like, oh yeah, nice, good work. Let me do my warm-up now. But you're also like an IT professional as well. What do you do for a day job?
Yes, I am. I work with BSP. I'm an IT programmer.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a very challenging job, but then when you prioritize your life, then you find out that you have so much time in the world. It's just that you're wasting your time in other unnecessary social activities like alcohol or drugs, or just socializing and just doing nothing but talking about people. It doesn't add value to your life. So
no, man.
All you can do is try to pick the priorities that are good for you, good for your family, and you find out that you'll have enough time to do your job, even though you're struggling and trying to catch up with some of the tasks that you do. But then also, on the other hand, you can also be a professional athlete, I guess. And it's all about priorities.
Wow. Wise words.
I think he's figured out the perfect work-life balance,
Yeah. It's about focus, I think. That's something like I've been trying to I've been reading about. It's just focus, because I'm someone who can set many goals.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the year, I achieve none of them. And then I'm like, what happened? So, a lot of these books that I'm reading, they're just like, just pick a goal and just throw all your energy at it and then, achieve it one goal at a time.
I think people try to focus on a lot of things.
Yeah.
It
Exactly.
gets distracting at times.
Oh yes, definitely. Like me as usual, like me as well. I try to be so many things at once, and then just like what Chan said, you end up having so much tasks that you can't do all of them. So in this life, we have such like limited time that we have to use,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
True.
and for that we have to drop some things that we actually love doing, but then we have to prioritize the one that we actually need to do.
Yeah.
So that's after from that on, then you'll find out that the path that you're following, you'll be able to track them as you go along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your stats right now? Like, how much do you weigh? Because like Vagi is a
Please.
pretty big guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, like, mate,
Yeah,
wait till you see him in person.
right now, I weigh 150 kgs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty daunting weight to be in. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah. And people consider that overweight. Like
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
people consider that as
they
overweight.
actually
But
do. Like people, because I think a lot of science and findings have gone into it.
yeah.
That when you reach such a weight over 100, and people say like you're overweight and you have like you suddenly have high blood pressure and all that, which is not true, because
Yeah.
I can confirm and tell you right now that I had my recent checkup
Yeah.
at the Paradise International, and ever since I've done my checkup since joining powerlifting and being in this body weight, it's very normal right
Yeah.
now. So it's all about the active lifestyle. It's
Yeah.
like you just have, if you grow big, you have to have the mentality that every time you have to train and keep your body in shape.
Yeah.
Because one little thing where you sacrifice your nutrition or you sacrifice training and you don't go attend some of the training you do, then you start falling into this really deep health issues and all that stuff. And I'm aware like the body weight that I have.
yeah.
So that's one reason why that I keep lifting
Right.
weights, because it keeps me in check of my health and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, it's just something to go around it. But like people can be around the 150 and even 140 mark and still be healthy.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say. A lot of people tell me like, oh, look, like when I'm sleeping somewhere, and then people realize, they say, hey, bro, you're like really big, but when you sleep, you don't snore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then people, and I go, I don't realize that I don't snore, but like, that's one sign that shows that you're unhealthy. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when you snore really heavily, it means
Yep.
that like your airway is not clear. Or
Oh,
your
okay,
air
okay,
path is
okay,
not
yeah.
clear. So it's
I
just
have
a
to tell
main
that-
conception that people get, that when you're big and when you snore that loud, that people say that you're very
Yeah.
unhealthy and all that, But like what Chan said, you can be at such a weight. And
Yeah, because I find that like BMI, the body mass index, is not very accurate, because I think it's much more, a better indication is your fat to muscle ratio, because you can be at a healthy BMI but be made up of
Yeah.
like all fat, or you can be at a low BMI but be still filled with like a
So-
lot of muscle. So that's my little tutorial.
No, because
No,
it's really, it's true. Because like there's skinny people who are really unhealthy. So it's not about like the BMI is off.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like updated research that we probably don't know about.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to get my hand on like a caliper, the one that measures your body fat.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
much accurate, I think, the description of your weight, whether
Yeah.
you're at a healthy weight.
But like with saying all this, we're not trying to get people to be big or just to get to our weight, just to say that,
Yeah.
I can be healthier that way.
Yeah.
No, you just have to work hard for it. If
Yeah.
you want to be big, you just have to make sure that
Oh, yes,
you're always
yes.
walking, keeping an active
Yeah.
lifestyle. So just a message going out to people, like if you want to grow big and stay healthy, you just have to have this very active lifestyle
Yeah.
to stay in good shape.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work, trust me. Like, I sometimes feel that I don't have enough time with my extended families.
Yeah.
Because straight after work, I'm always at the gym
yeah,
spending.
but that's the champion mindset
Yeah.
as well. Like you're very focused. You
Yeah,
can-
but my family do understand, like my
Yeah.
extended family.
it's good to have a good support
Yeah,
system that
they
there's like.
do understand all the work I do and all that. So I have this very supportive people at my back, like my families, people from
Yeah.
the Karuku side. And,
Especially when you bring in medals, so I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, like,
okay.
You have to keep up. You have to keep
Yeah,
up
there
the
you
name.
go. It's
They're
like,
actually
okay,
very
yeah,
happy,
okay.
so
We can
yeah.
let him go. He's winning medals, we're putting our name out there.
So take us back to like, give us a glimpse of you when you first started.
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to know how
Sure.
it all started for you. What was that epiphany moment that made you say, "Oh, I have a talent in this"?
Right.
Because I'm sure, like, you were proficient at, programming. So, Walk us through that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
have you ever always been big? Like, is it your genetics to be this big?
Yeah, both good questions. So I'll go with Matthias. So I when I first started off, I was actually a rugby player, rugby
Okay.
league player.
Makes
So
sense.
people,
Thank God he doesn't play today.
people they knew me through the name of Sam Thaiday because when I came from
Yeah.
Australia, I had this really long curly hair, and when I played exactly
Like
like him,
Sam Thaiday.
carry people into the try line and all that stuff. And then this person, now my clan mate that we were playing the same team, he realized the strength I had, and then he told me, "Bro, you should come to the gym at Gabi and then try out in this sport called powerlifting." Back then, I didn't even know what powerlifting was. All I knew was rugby and just bench press,
Yeah,
and that
it's
was
not
it.
even, it's not a really popular sport. Like,
It's-
a lot of
No,
the
it
attention is on
isn't.
weightlifting
Trust
right
me,
now.
it's in PNG. It wasn't very popular at that time. Like no one knew about it. But this guy just came and said, like, bro, I can see that your physique and your strength, the strength you have is just massive. Like, try come out and just try out. And then I didn't really take note in that. I actually spent another 2 years playing rugby. But consistently, this guy would come and just tell me, bro, you coming, like, did you take my word as advice? So it took me 2 years. I tore my ACL actually. So
Ooh.
yeah, in rugby.
Every rugby
Yeah,
players.
that's
That's
major.
season, like,
Yeah. Season ending.
Season ending.
Season
Ooh.
ending.
Career ending
So,
as well?
yeah, no, it is. It is actually season and career ending if
But
it's
it
a
doesn't
very
affect
serious.
your powerlifting.
It doesn't affect it. So
there you go.
once I took that, when I got that injury, then I laid out for 6 months. But just 2 months into it, then I like the type of person that I grew up to be is like a sports person. So my dad was a really big fan of me playing rugby because he was into rugby as well, and he'd take me down to his village. A lot of the Karaku people knew me. Playing
True
down there
rugby.
as Thaiday as well. So they don't know my actual name. They just say Sam
Thaiday,
Thaiday, Sam
they
Thaiday.
just
That's
Yeah.
it. That's your name now.
Oh, man.
And then I think that's where I built my strength, like the foundation. So
How old were you back then?
back then when I first started,
when you
powerlifting,
started powerlifting.
yeah, I was 27 actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I started very late. Like I did power. I was playing. I've been playing
Wow.
rugby since age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then it took me till the injury I had in ACL, when I had that ACL injury. Just stayed on for 2 months, and because I'm a very active person, I just said like, no, I have to look for something.
Yeah.
And then I thought of weightlifting, but then in weightlifting you have to have this crazy mobility,
Yeah,
like
it
on your
is.
wrist
yeah,
I mean,
and on your ankles. So this,
I think, it's like,
Power-
it's really impressive
powerlifting-
how Stephen Curry can
Oh.
lift all that with that. I mean,
Yeah,
his
the
shoulders
jerk,
have to be
trust me,
cement in order to...
Stephen Curry and Murray Barrow are like some of the strongest people I've
Exactly.
seen. Like at such a body weight, these people can overhead press a lot.
Like their knees and their, especially the shoulders. Like
I
just see
have
that-
like huge respect for these athletes because it's just coming out from the village.
Yeah.
You know, training at the village and
have similar stories
Yeah,
of how you
perform
guys-
at such a level is just very inspiring. So, anyways, and then I had the ACL injury. I was off for 2 months, and then I said, okay, let me try go and check this gym out at Gabi. So, when I first went in, it was like this makeshift shelter. So it was like rusty roofing irons just nailed
Best
around
gyms
it.
are like that,
Yeah, I
you know,
know.
yeah.
And then I went in and all these weights are rusty and the floor is not even like cement or anything. It's just dust, like pure gravel on the ground. And then I went in and my buddy saw me and he said, hey, bro, welcome. And then they welcomed me in. And then on the first day, I squatted 200.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
even that guy was shocked because this guy, like his name's Kala Wendru. He was my first coach.
Uh-huh.
This guy is also a 4-time Pacific champion. He's still a reigning champion right now.
Wow.
So he trained me. So he took me in, he trained me, and then from then on he said, like, bro, just try squat 200. I've been giving you 100 squats and it looks like nothing. So he had it on 200. I squatted. And then when I lifted it up, he said, bro, you need to start doing this sport. Like, believe me.
Yeah, wow.
If you do
that's
this sport,
impressive.
I can guarantee you that you'll get a spot in the PNG, national PNG team. And then it was 2015, so the Pacific Games was already here.
Ooh.
Great.
So that's what
a
actually
great-
motivated me.
everything
It was like
just-
timing, yeah. So I trained for 6 months, and then they had this, they call this national championship for powerlifting, and I went in. And I actually broke the national records for squats and deadlift.
Wow.
in my first ever
In your
comp.
first ever
Your
competition.
first ever
Wow.
comp, mate.
I did. Yeah, but yeah. And then like I started getting attention. Like there was this guy.
Sorry, just screech back. What
Please
was the
go ahead.
record?
Sorry?
What was the record?
Thank you for asking. The record was 280 kgs.
Right.
And this was done by someone. It is like the heaviest squat
Yeah.
actually. But in my division, the actual record was just 250.
Okay.
But the heaviest record in PNG that someone squatted was 280.
280.
Wow.
Okay.
And that was Livingstone Sikoli. And this guy, trust me, this guy is just genetically gifted. So he was a previous bodybuilder
Right.
and then crossed over to powerlifting. And they used to call him the PNG Hercules. Like everyone in the Pacific know Livingstone Sikoli, like from his age. And man, I had so much respect for this guy. Like he just walks in, very humble. Won't even notice like this really muscular guy walking past, not knowing who he is. But then when you ask, you get to know him. But yeah, I went in, I broke the squat record. I squatted a 285 then.
What?
And then I deadlifted. My bench press was the weakest. Back then I only did like 150. And the record was 200 by Eddie.
Oh,
Edward
Big
Paluca,
Eddie.
yeah. Back then, that was they were doing the equipped powerlifting, so they had these bench press suits as well.
Oh, okay.
But the type we do now is raw, so you don't wear
don't have
anything.
suits and
You just
everything,
do raw strength. Yeah.
Shoot.
But he did bench press 200, so that was the record. So back then I didn't beat it. And then the deadlift was around 270, and I broke 300. So I broke two national records then, and then Michael Kingston, the CEO of KK Kingston,
Yeah.
recognized the effort, and they said, "Look, I think I want you and Linda Poulsen,
Yes.
the Manus lady, crazily strong
a
lady.
beast as
Trust me,
well.
this lady is like stocky, and but if she walks probably if you see her from the back, you think there's like a man walking or something. But Linda, sorry about that, but I have to mention this. You're crazily strong. Like she actually broke the world record in squats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she did.
Powerlifting is the only sport in PNG that's broken a world record, and that was done by Linda Poulsen. I have to acknowledge that.
Mate.
Yeah. Manus, yeah.
Shout out
Manus.
to you, Linda.
Yeah, Linda, man, she's crazy. But then we
That was during the 2015 games. as well.
2015,
Yeah, 'cause
so-
it-
Like just 6 months and you broke records,
Yeah.
bro.
so I
Like respect, man.
So I went there. I went with Linda, and then she realized I was sent there because of the records I broke, and they realized, look, these are leading up comp for you to go into the powerlifting Pacific Games. So we want you to attend the World Championship. So it was from like a national level straight to the world level.
Wow.
And trust me, I thought I was one of the biggest guys, but when I got there, I was the second lightest person.
What? At the time, how much did you weigh?
I was 148 kgs probably.
Wow, that's a lot there. And then you were the lightest?
I was the second lightest. So the first lightest was a South African. I was the second lightest. The rest were just from 160 kgs onwards.
Wow.
The heaviest would have been around 196, close to 200. And when I walked in the weighing room, I've never felt so small in my life.
First time, eh?
First time.
Oh, wow.
Man, these are like massive people just walking around like, okay, now I see where I need to be. And then it kind of gave me an indication on like the level that I need to compete as well. So the World Championship was also a good experience for me. So they sent me for my experience. I out of the 26 lifters, I came 16th then.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice, man.
And then I came back, but then I had already registered all these numbers in my head.
Yeah. Were you
level.
intimidated by like your competition at the time?
Trust me, I was very intimidated.
Wow,
I mean, like,
yeah.
look, just one national competition
just one
under
under
my
your belt,
belt,
and then you went
to
up
reach
straight.
a world stage, who wouldn't be intimidated? Like,
Yeah.
man, these people. But trust me, these super heavyweight people are so big, so scary, but they're like teddy bears. These people are like some of the kindest people that you can
Yeah.
ever go through. I think it's the journey that takes them to be humble, like because like the way they train and the hardship and the pain they go through. When they see other people doing it, they have that respect. They say,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they say, okay, we need to give advice to this person, that we've been through this and it's very painful. They're very supportive. So I actually had the privilege to talk to second and third place champions, and they gave me really nice advice, like how to go with the nutrition and how to train. Back then I was just hard out in the gym, just going hard out. But then they gave me advice on recovery and nutrition and all these muscle groups that we need to train, isolation training and all this stuff. It was just a different ball game when they explained it. So when I came back, I was like, man, I need to put my head down and concentrate.
It's just motivating.
Yeah,
you
it's
even
very
more,
motivating, bro. I was happy that I attended that. And then when we went into the Pacific Games, I looked at myself and I was like, man, no, it's just 6 months. I don't need to even win a medal. I'm just happy to be part of the PNG team. You know? But then surprisingly, I won a bronze medal. Out of 7 people, and these are people that have been competing years and years. And just to snatch a bronze medal just got me way motivated, because it's like I said, like, hey, look, if I can achieve this in just 6 months, imagine what I can do in 2-3 years. When I said that advice in the MTV interview as well, that gave me the motivation to like start putting my head down and train even more, just like the champions I met in the world. And yeah, man, some of them are very, very nice
progress
people.
is addicting. Like once you win at something, it's just, I don't know, it's better than drugs, I think. You just want to continue and do more.
You just want to know what's next.
Yeah, exactly. Or I think once you you understand what you're capable of, and you see your potential, just like, okay, how far can I go? It's quite exciting.
But I think I'm just blessed as well. I think I have my dad. Actually, I didn't mention this, but my dad is a really, really tall and big guy. He's like Karuku, full of tattoos, and this guy is just massive. And I think I inherited his genes as well, because he used to tell us stories about our grandfathers also lifting canoes and walking.
It's in our blood.
So I think I inherited a lot of those genes, because it takes so many years for people to train. But then the lucky ones that are born with like genetically gifted, it just takes hard work and that's it. You can achieve so much in a short period of time. But like what Michael Jordan said, I like to say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. If you have the talent, but if you don't put the hard yards in it, you're never going to get there, even though you're genetically gifted and all that. Like for me, I've been doing this for the past 6 years now, and I still enjoy doing it, because I know that if I don't work hard, I'm never going to get to the place that I want to be. So it's all about hard work.
It's always good, like chasing bigger goals keeps you humble as well.
Exactly.
I really like that saying as well. It's just a good reminder. I think another, like in addition to that saying, was that while you're relaxing, if you have all the talent, while you're relaxing, know that there's someone working harder than you, and he's trying to beat your goals, and that should also motivate you to keep driving.
That's very true of what you said.
You have a very championship, like a champion's mindset. It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm motivated. I want to go lift now.
There you go. So are you training for any competitions coming up?
Yes, I have a world championship that I need to attend in July in South Africa. So I'm looking forward to that. The reason why is because right now the weights I lift in the gym would enable me to be in the 5th or the 6th place.
Oh, okay.
But that's depending if like other lifters bomb out during their lifts, like technical and all that stuff, then I have even a better space to be in even advantage to even increase my ranking.
Okay.
So it's from like 16th to the like top 5 in the world.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not looking at any medals right now, because I think that when you put unrealistic goals, you won't achieve them.
Yeah.
And that will cause you to like spiral down.
Yeah.
So it's just good to add goals that are achievable. And what happens in between, if luck's on your side, then you get to improve on a 1 or 2 ranking up, and that would be like the best achievement that you can get. I think people expect a lot out of themselves.
Expectations is...
So when you don't get those expectations, then you just start saying like, oh, am I good enough? Or you start questioning yourself, and only the people with the strongest mindsets tend to achieve those kind of goals. So
You have a strong mind.
Thanks.
Have you ever doubted yourself? Like, have you had those moments where you, like, your mind wasn't as strong as you would have liked it to be?
Yes, I think I've had a few of those. So, like all of us, I fell into depression as well. So, like most of us. So I'll be open. I fell into depression basically because the situation I was going through was so tough. So I say, man, that's like, if I can just do something and end it right now, then I don't need to wake up and worry about anything the next day. Yeah, it got to that point, I started questioning myself, and I'm like, oh, hold on. If I do this, then my family, like, I'd be putting so much pressure, and, my mom and all that stuff, my family. So, like, yeah, I've gone through that very tough road, but then I pull myself up.
Yep.
And I think the only thing that helped me to pull me through my depression state was my family and also sport, like powerlifting itself.
Yeah.
Because every time I'd be in the gym and I meet these wonderful people, like my athletes, my friends, training, and that boosts my morale. Like they'll be there to like, bro, you okay? Are you okay today? And how are you doing? Just simple answers or questions to people like that. Like you can even help them to motivate them.
Yeah.
And then there was another time where I like felt demoralized is when I tore my hamstring.
Yeah.
When I
You
tore my
mentioned
hamstring,
this off camera.
Yeah, I
because
mentioned yourself that when
you see the achievements we get in powerlifting is just only recognized by people, but then
Exactly.
all right. Yeah. So when I tore my hamstring, I started asking like, is this worth it? Because in powerlifting, it's not so recognized that it's not like weightlifting where you get funding, a lot of funding from companies and all that. Powerlifting is just a sport where we do because we like it and we want to achieve something, but not monetary. So when I tore my hamstring, I'm like, hey, wait, it looks like I'm just ruining my body for nothing. I'm doing all this for nothing. But then
at the time, did you have any sponsors? No.
No, I didn't have any sponsors.
Right.
I was just training on my own.
Yeah.
So when I tore my hamstring, I'm like, hey, look, this
Wasn't
feels
worth
like
it,
it's not worth it. Like if I get seriously injured, then who's gonna pay for all my fees and all this stuff? Even though I'm repping the country and all this. So all this came into my mind, and I was like, I felt so demoralized.
Yeah.
But then I think because of the mindset that I have, because the mindset I have is when you start something, you have to finish it off. That's my mindset. I apply it to work and I apply it to sport as well. So when you start something, you have to finish it off.
Be a man of your word.
Be a man of your word. If you're starting something, you're telling people, look, I want to start this. But then people will start looking and say, if you stop somewhere, then they'll say, oh, it was just words and just empty.
No matter how hard your actions always.
I'm saying, no, hold on. I'm not gonna be that person that CC's out or anything. I'm gonna stand up and rise.
Yeah.
And then when I got that mentality and started like doing my workouts and all that stuff, my body started responding. So my injuries was healing quicker than what the physios were expecting. So they said like it would heal in 3 months, but it took me only 1.5 months to heal.
Mind power right there.
But then I had to go over this lifting so many weights to just lifting the bar off the floor because they were telling me you can't lift anything heavier than the 20 kg bar. And that was very challenging as well.
Humbling experience as well.
Exactly.